These are the common online payment methods: the PayPal, Western Union, ML Kwarta Padala, Union Bank, BDO, BPI, and the Smart Money. What is cryptocurrency? A digital currency designed to work as a medium of exchange through a computer network. A digital asset created using a cryptographic techniques that enable people to buy and sell or trade them securely. A self-governed and managed, and most importantly, a fast way to transfer funds. Blockchain technology stores data in blocks that are linked together via cryptography. This is the technique of securing informations and communications through use of codes so that only those person for whom the info is intended can understand it. Data changed together in chronological order. Once the block is filled with data, it is chained onto the previous block, which makes the data chained together in chronological order. Immutable ledgers. The word immutable means cannot be changed, and ledger is a fancy term for record. A record of something. Therefore, an immutable ledger is a record that cannot be changed. Characteristic of cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency transactions and balances were recorded on a public digital ledger called blockchain. So, a blockchain is a digital ledger of transactions maintained by a network of computers in a way that makes it difficult to hack or to alter. Second, cryptocurrency can be accessed through a software called wallets. So, a cryptocurrency wallet is a device that stores your cryptocurrency key and allows you to access your coins. Third, cryptocurrency is decentralized and thus is not centrally controlled. Type of cryptocurrency is the Bitcoin, a decentralized digital currency that can be transferred in the peer-to-peer Bitcoin network. So, a Bitcoin is like an online version of cash. Then, peer-to-peer is some online gaming platform used to peer-to-peer for downloading games between users. These are the common online payment methods: the PayPal, Western Union, ML Kwarta Padala, Union Bank, BDO, BPI, and the Smart Money. Does the BSP endorse cryptocurrency? The BSP does not regulate cryptocurrency itself. It has guidelines on virtual asset providers. Under the rules, entities that engage with virtual assets requires to secure a license from the BSP.
Personal Equity and Retirement Account. Republic Act Number 9505, August 22, 2008. An act establishing a Provident Personal Savings Plan known as the Personal Equity and Retirement Account. Section 1. This act shall be known as the Personal Equity and Retirement Account Act of 2008. It is a voluntary retirement account that aims to provide Filipino a tax-exempt facility of supplement their future pension benefits from SSS, GSIS, and their employers. If you are a PIRA member, you'll receive a lifetime defined benefit payment of a pension at retirement in addition to the monthly benefits. PIRA also provides benefits like survivor and disability benefits. Section 2. Declaration of policy. It is a policy that specifies the name, insured, address, policy period, including the date on which coverage begins and ends. Section 3. Administrator. Persons whose job is to manage and controls the PIRA and responsible for overseeing the PIRA members' account. Custodian. Someone who keeps and protects the PIRA members' account. Early withdrawals. Shall pertain to any withdrawals prior to the period of distribution as set forth under Section 12 hereof. Under Section 12, made upon reaching the age of 55 years, complete distribution shall be made upon the death of the contributor, irrespective of the age of the contributor at the time of his death. Investment managers. It is a person who are very careful to manage and observe the policies of PIRA funds. Personal equity and retirement account refers to the voluntary retirement account established by and for the exclusive use and benefit of the contributor for purpose of being invested solely in PIRA investment products in the Philippines. The contributor shall retain the ownership, whether legal or beneficial, of funds placed therein, including all earnings of such funds. PIRA investment products refers to a unit-based fund, mutual fund, annuity contract, insurance pension products, pre-need pension plan, shares of stocks, and other securities listed and traded in the local exchange, exchange-traded bonds, or any other investment of product or outlet which concern regulatory authority may allow for PIRA purposes.
Section 3, Definition of Terms. Regulatory Authority. Refers to the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas as regards banks, other supervised financial institution, and trust entities. The Securities and Exchange Commission for investments companies, investment houses, stock brokerage, and pre-need plan companies, and the Office of the Insurance Commission for insurance companies. Section 3, Definition of Terms. Overseas Filipino. Refers to an individual citizen of the Philippines who is working deriving income from abroad, including one who required his Philippine citizenship under Republic Act 9225, otherwise known as the Citizenship Retention and Reacquisition Act of 2003, or to the legitimate spouse whether not said spouse is Filipino ancestry, and the children of the Filipino citizen mentioned in item. Section 4, Establishment of a PIRA. A contributor may create and maintain a maximum of 5 PIRA at any one time, provided that the contributor shall designate and maintain only one administrator for all his PIRA. The contributor shall make all investment decisions pertaining to his PIRA. However, he has the option of appointing an investment manager. Section 5, Maximum Annual PIRA Contribution. A contributor may make an aggregate maximum contributed of 100,000 pesos or its equivalent at any convertible foreign currency at the prevailing rate at the time of the actual contribution to his/her PIRA per year, provided that if the contributor is married, of the spouse shall be entitled to be a maximum contribution of 100,000 pesos or its equivalent in any convertible foreign currency per year to his respective PIRA, provided further that if the contributor is an overseas Filipino, he shall be allowed to make maximum contributions double the allowable maximum amount. The contributor has the option to contribute more than the maximum amount prescribed herein, provided that the excess shall no longer be entitled to the tax credit of 5%. The Secretary of Finance may adjust the maximum contribution from time to time, taking into consideration the present value of the said maximum contribution using the Consumer Price Index as published by National Statistics Office, fiscal position of the government, and other pertinent factors. Section 6. A private employer may contribute to its employee PIRA to the extent of the amount allowable to contribute, provided however, that the employer complies with the mandatory social security system, contribution and retirement pay under the Labor Code of the Philippines. Such contribution shall be allowed a deduction from the employer gross income. The contributor, however, retains the prerogative to make investment decision pertaining to his pera. Section 7. Separate asset. The pera shall be kept separate from the other assets of an administrator, custodian, and shall not be part of the general assets of the administrator, custodian for purpose of insolvency. Section 8. Tax treatment of contribution. The contributor shall be given an income tax credit equivalent for 5% of the total pera contribution, provided, however, that in no instance can there be any refund of the said tax credit arising from the pera contributions. If the contributor is an overseas Filipino, he shall be entitled to be claim tax credit from any tax payable to the national government under the National Internal Revenue Code of 1997 as amended. Section 9. Tax treatment of investment income. All income earned from the investments and reinvestments of the maximum amount allowed herein is tax exempt.
Tax treatment of invest income. All distributions in accordance with Section 12 hereof are tax exempt. Termination. Any premature termination shall be treated as an early withdrawal under Section 13 hereof, provided that the penalties thereunder shall not apply if the inter proceeds there from are immediately transferred to another pera investment and or another administrator. Distribution upon retirement or death. Distributions may be made upon reaching the age of 55 years, provided that the contributor has made contributions to the pera for at least 5 years. The distribution shall be made in either lump sum or pension for a definite period of lifetime pension, the choice of which shall be at the option of the contributor. The contributor, however, has the option to continue the pera. Complete distribution shall be made upon the death of the contributor, irrespective of the age of contributor at the time of his death. Penalty on early withdrawal. Any early withdrawal shall be subjected to a penalty, the amount of which would be determined by the Secretary of Finance and payable to the government, provided that the amount of the penalty shall in no case be less than the tax incentive enjoyed by the contributor. Non-assignability. No portion of the assets of a pera may be assigned, alienated, pledged, encumbered, attached, garnished, seized, or levied upon. Pera assets shall not be considered assets for the contributor for purposes of insolvency and state taxes. Rules and regulations. Consistent with the policy of promoting transparency in pera investment and thereby affording protection to the contributor, the Department of Finance, the Bureau of Internal Revenue, and the concerned regulatory authorities with the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas as lead agency shall coordinate to establish uniform rules and regulations pertaining to the following subject matters: qualification and disqualification standards for administrators, custodian, and investment managers, including directors and officers thereof, qualified and or eligible pera investment products, valuation standards for pera investments, disclosure requirements imposed on the terms and conditions of the pera investment, minimum requirements imposed on the administrators as regards inculcating financial literacy and investors, ascertainment of clients' stability for pera products, fees to be charged by the administrators, custodian, or investment manager shall always be reasonable and approved by the concerned regulatory authority. Record keeping, reporting, and audit requirement of administrators and custodians pertaining to records for all contributions, earnings, and total account balances, and other pertinent matters to be determined by the regulatory authorities.
Administration of tax incentives. The BIR shall issue the implementing rules and regulations regarding all aspects of tax administration relating to PERA. The BIR shall coordinate the qualification standard of the administrator with the regulatory authorities. Penalty. A fine of not less than 50,000 pesos nor more than 200,000 pesos, or imprisonment of not less than 6 years and 1 day to not more than 12 years for both such fine and imprisonment, at the discretion of the court, shall be imposed upon any person, association, partnership, or corporation. Each officer, employee, or agent who acting alone or in concomitance with others shall act as administrator, custodian, or investment manager without being properly qualified or without being granted prior accreditation by the concerned regulatory authority. Invest the contribution without written or electronically authenticated authority from the contributor, or invest the contribution in contravention of the instructions of the contributors.
Section 17. Penalty. A fine of not less than 50,000 pesos nor more than 200,000 pesos, or imprisonment of not less than 6 years and 1 day to not more than 12 years, or both such fine and imprisonment at the discretion of the court, shall be imposed upon any person, association, partnership, or corporation, its officer, employee, or agent who acting alone or in connivance with others shall act as administrator, custodian, or investment manager without being properly qualified or without being granted prior accreditation by the concerned regulatory authority. Invest the contribution without written or electronically authenticated authority from the contributor, or invest the contribution in contravention of the instructions of the contributor. Knowingly and willfully make any statement in any application, report, or document required to be filled under this Act, which statement is false or misleading with respect to any material fact, misappropriate or convert to the prejudice of the contributor contributions to and investments or income from the PERA. By gross negligence, cause any loss, conversion or misappropriation of the contributions to or investments from the PERA, or violate any provision of the Act or rules and regulations issued pursuant to this Act. Notwithstanding the foregoing, any willful violation by the accredited administrator, custodian, or investment manager of any of the provisions of this Act, or its implementing rules and regulations, or other terms and conditions of the authority to act as administrator, custodian, or investment manager may be subject to the administrative sanctions provided for in applicable laws. The above penalties shall be without prejudice to whatever civil and criminal liability provided for under applicable laws for the same act or omission. So under this Section 17 penalty, there are two penalties that are given. First is the money, which is not less than 50,000 pesos nor more than 200,000 pesos, or imprisonment of not less than 6 years and 1 day. So Section 18, abuse of the tax exemption and privileges. In any person, natural and juridical, who unduly avails of the tax exemption privileges herein granted, possible by commingling PERA accounts in an investment with other investments, when such person is not entitled thereto, shall be subject to the penalties provided in Section 17 hereof. In addition, the offender shall refund to the government double the amount of the tax exemptions and privileges enjoyed under this Act, plus interest of 12% per year from the date of enjoyment of the tax exemptions and privileges to the date of actual payment. So under this Act, those people who are not belong to this tax exemption and privileges are hereby or required to have these penalties under the Section 17. Section 19 Separability Clause. If any provision or part hereof is held invalid or unconstitutional, the remainder of the law or provision not otherwise affected shall remain valid and subsisting. Each of the provisions of this agreement is a separate and distinct agreement and independent of others, so that if any provision hereof shall be held to be invalid for any reason, such invalidity or unenforceability of the other provisions. Section 20 Repealing Clause. All laws, decrees, orders, rules, and regulations, or parts thereof inconsistent with this Act are hereby amended or modified accordingly. So under this Section 20 Repealing Clause, the rules, laws, and regulations have a minor changes and improvements. Section 20 Effectively. This Act shall be effect 15 days following its publication in a newspaper of general circulation, provided that the tax incentives granted hereunder shall take effect on January 1, 2009. This agreement shall take effect upon signing by the parties to this agreement and shall remain in force unless any of the parties withdraws or pre-terminates this agreement.
Retirement state planning. Retirement is not an age but a time of capability. Visualize retirement in details. How much do you really need to retire? Monthly lifestyle. Basic needs like foods, medicines, education, clothing, or bills. Budget is 40,000. Shelter. Budget 5,000. Transportation. Budget 20,000. Recreation or hobbies travel 20,000. Charity 5,000. Tithes 10,000. The income replacement total is 100,000. Stop working or work because you want to, not because you have to.
To continue the retirement state planning topic, I will going to discuss on how much is the worth investment we should build for retirement. We just simply divide the monthly lifestyle budget to monthly weighted interest rate earned. So based on the given above, this one, the monthly lifestyle budget is 100,000. So 100,000 is divided by 7%, then times 12 is equals to 17,142,857.14. Ngunit siya ang fund required sa monthly lifestyle budget na 100,000. Then choose your investment vehicle. For the mutual fund, na siya target income niya is 100,000 kaya man siya monthly lifestyle budget. Then AER niya or monthly weighted interest rate earned is 12%. So, para makuha na to ang iyang required investment, i-divide lang na to ang 100,000 sa 12%, then times 12, then ano na siya i-answer sa money required investment for the mutual fund na target income 100,000, then 12% iyang AER. Then also for the equities, 100,000, then iyang AER is 15%. So, 100,000 is divided by 15%, then times 12 is equal to 8 million. Same ra ni sila tanan diri kung saan siya pag-solve. Ang target income, i-divide lang sa AER o pila siya ka percent, then times 12. Times 12 para makuha na to ang iyang required investment. Then, sa retirement goal, diversified investment. Investment vehicles niya, equities is na siya 5%. Asa giganing 5,000 sa iyang target income. Ang equities is 5,000 man, then ang iyang monthly lifestyle budget is 100,000. So 100,000 is divided by 5% is equals to 5,000. Then to get the required investment of the equities, we just divide the 5,000 to 15%, then times 12 is equals to 400,000. Then mutual fund, 30% ang sa mutual fund, then 100,000 is divided by 30% is equal to 30,000. Then divide 12% times 12 is equals to 3 million ang required investment for the mutual fund. Then sa bonds is 20%. So 100,000 ang monthly lifestyle budget is divided by 20% is equals to 20,000. Then to get the required investment of the bonds, we just divide the 20,000 to 5%. Then times 12 is equals to 4,800,000. Then same ra na siya pag solve diri naman sa cooperative. Kung pila ka percent ang investment vehicles niya, i-divide lang siya sa 100,000. Then pila yung target income, i-divide sa 5% or 3 sa mga AER nila, divide lang, then times 12 para makuha ang ilang required investment. Then manadagay na ang total tanan 17,119,480 sa iyang monthly budget na 100,000. So pag edad niya 50 na siya ay 17 million for his retirement plan. Then next is financial checkup. For financial checkup, you must know your number one is you must know your timeline. Break it down into your yearly target. Break it down into your monthly target. Then reduce your unnecessary expenses. Dapat dili na ka magpalit-palit ng di ra kay kinahanglanon nga mga palitonon. Then pay out your bad debt. Example, anong mga loans sa bangko, or yun sa credit card. Then increase your income. Common retirement planning mistakes. These are the common retirement planning mistakes. Number one is no contingency plans. Then underestimating the years you live in retirement. Then assuming that you need this income in retirement. The next is expecting that you can work after retirement. Nag-expect pa ka nga magkatrabaho pa ka after retirement nimo. Then wrong portfolio strategy. Then estate planning is the study to create, conserve, and share wealth to maximum benefit and fulfillment of the estate owner, including preserving harmony among his or her family. Then critical steps. We have 6 critical steps. Number one is clarify your intentions. Then determine your heirs. Then create an inventory of assets. Then choose appropriate tools. Number 5, write and communicate the plan. Then last one is the review, execute, review. So this will be the end of my discussion, and the rest will be discussed with my co-reporters.
This is the continuation of the report about retirement estate planning. Planning tools. The gift donation, sale, incorporation, will, extrajudicial partition, self-adjudication, and or in bank accounts, trust, life insurance. Advantage of life insurance. Insurance keeps the estate whole, na net taxable estate ang nakabutang diri kay 10 million pesos, tinapoy 6 estate tax nakabutang diri kay 600,000. Insurance creates equity. Ang insurance diri nakabutang kay gibahin og kaduha nay 2 million ug napoy 4 million. Tas ang property po diri gibahin og katulo nay 6 million, 4 million ug 2 million. And insurance allows gift to others na net estate and inheritance for voluntary heirs and or more benefit to preferred heirs. Settling of state, judicial state, extrajudicial states or self-adjudication. Type of heirs, compulsory and voluntary. And there is table of legitimes and intestate shares. Surviving heirs, tas distribution of states. Ang distribution of states gibahin siya kaduha. State succession and it well. Then ang intestate succession mo nay duha ka legitimes and intestate shares. Estate tax is imposed on the privilege to transit property upon a person's death. The taxpayer is the estate of the deceased person and not the heirs receiving the property. The heirs succeed immediately at the moment of death to all the property of the deceased. Pre-train law. Na siya duha ka kuan. Nagkuhan siya sa tax, inheritance or estate tax and donor tax. Ang sa inheritance or estate tax kay na siya 20% in excess of 10 million pesos. Tas ang sa donor tax na po siya 15% in excess of 10 million pesos also. And there is a train law na 6% makuan kay example kaning for donations applied to values in excess of 250,000 asset value, tas plus documentary stamp tax for donations and real property sales or property registration and other fees mo nang naay 6%.
Good day, everyone. This is the continuation about the report Train Law. So first, what is Train Law? Train law is also known as Tax Reform for Acceleration and Inclusion as Republic Act number 10963. The law took effect on January 1, 2018. The aim of train law is to generate revenue to achieve the 2022 and 2040 vision of the Duterte administration. Tax amnesty. It is a limited time opportunity for a specified group of taxpayers to pay a defined amount in exchange for forgiveness of a tax liability, including interest, penalties, and criminal prosecutions relating to previous tax periods. So, on June 2021, President Rodrigo Duterte signed into law Republic Act number 11569, extending the estate tax amnesty to June 14, 2023. Estate taxes history. So estate tax is a tax or the right of the deceased person to transmit his or her estate to his or her lawful heirs and beneficiaries at the time of death and on certain transfers, which are made by law as equivalent to testamentary disposition. So we have here the time of death, estate tax rate, and the surcharge or the penalty. Before January 1, 1973, January 1, 1973 to July 27, 1992, July 27, 1992 to December 31, 1997, January 1, 1998 to December 31, 2017, January 1, 2018 to the present. So the estate tax rate of this is 6%, and the surcharge penalty is being waived. So why it is waived? So some heirs waive their inheritance as they are no longer interested of the property. Illustration and tax amnesty. We have here the time of death in 1979. The net estate is 3 million. The estate tax is 1,393,450. The surcharge or the penalty is 348,363. The interest is 11,147,600. The total liability is 12,889,430. So on 1994, the net estate is 5 million. The estate tax is 495,000. The surcharge is 123,750. The interest is 1,485,000. So the total liability is 2,103,750. So on 2014, the estate tax is 20 million. Estate tax is 3,215,000. The surcharge is 803,750. The interest is 12,860,000. The total liability is 16,878,750. So the total liability is 31,871,930. So we have here paunsa makuha ang total liabilities. If the net estate is 3 million, i-multiply na siya sa estate tax rate nga 6%. So 3 million times 6% is equals to 180,000. Kung 5 million po ang net estate, i-times of 6%, the answer is 300,000. Kung 20 million ang net estate, times 6% is equal to 1,200,000. So the total liability of this 3 time of death would be 1,680,000. Inclusion to the gross estate. For citizens and resident foreigners, all assets and liabilities, real or personal, specific or incipient, tangible or not, wherever located, are included. For non-resident foreigners, only the properties in the Philippines are included. So this is the estate tax formula. Gross estate less share of spouse in community property less allowable deduction is to taxable net income. So these are the allowable deductions. The standard deduction of 5 million pesos. The family home up to 10 million pesos. Claims against the estate. Claims against the insolvent persons. Unpaid mortgage taxes and casualty losses. Property previous taxes. Transfers for public use. Amount received by heirs from the decedent's employers in the benefits included as part of the gross estate of the decedent. That is share of spouse in the conjugal or community property. Estate tax formula. If the deceased spouse have the gross estate of 100 million, minusan siya sa share of the surviving spouse nga 50 million, standard deduction nga 5 million, family home 10 million. Ang total niyang net taxable estate is 35 million. So applyan nato na siya og 6% nga estate tax rate. So ang iyang estate tax due is 2,100,000. Para sa surviving spouse, kung naa siya gross estate nga 62,500,000 plus standard deduction 5 million, family home na 10 million, the total net taxable estate is 47,500,000. So applyan na pud nato siya og 6% nga estate tax rate. So ang estate tax due is 2,850,000. So which mode of transfer is better? Here the mode of transfer tax rate, the sole of capital assets 6% plus 15% DST, sole of ordinary assets 35% plus 12% VAT, sale of shares of stocks 50% on net gain, donation 6% plus 15% DST, inheritance 6%, tax deduction, no deductions, 250,000 ang iyang donation, 15 million apod ang sa inheritance. A mode of transfer nga effects of marriage. If sold to a married child and without a prenuptial agreement, property becomes part of the community assets. Ang donation is property is inclusive to the married child. Inheritance, property is exclusive to the married child. Financial capacity. Financial capacity of the child may be an issue. Donation is no issue. The inheritance is also no issue. Effects on control. Loss of control. So, inheritance is lifelong retentions of control by the estate owner. So that's the end of my topic. Thank you.
Okay, good morning everyone. My assigned topic is entitled Financial Planning. So, planning, also called forethought, is the process of thinking about and organizing the activities required to achieve a desired goal. It involves the creation and maintenance of a plan, such as psychological aspects that require conceptual skills. Planning is doing something for the future in a systematic way. So, when we talk about financial planning, it deals with money. It talks about money. Okay, proceed. Personal financial planning refers to the proper planning and implementation of well-coordinated plans to achieve financial activities. First, taking conscientious and systematic steps towards fulfilling one's financial goals. Second, the process of meeting life goals through proper management of finances. Third, the personal finance involves much more than managing and investing money. Okay, there are things that we need for personal planning. First is seeing the future with a clear vision. When we have a goal to be achieved, we will be clear about the future. And through financial planning, we would be able to follow the steps needed to achieve the goal. So step by step, para makuha na to ang atong goal, para ma-achieve na to ang atong goal. Without a financial plan so kung wala ang financial plan, it would be like grouping in the dark and everyday crisis management. So kung wala kay plano, how can you achieve your goal if you don't have a plan? Okay. 2. Ensuring financial discipline. Ensuring financial discipline, proper planning helps one to limit his or her expenses within the budget. No, natay plano, how can we handle our budget? Dili kay gasto ta diri, gasto ta dito. No? Natay discipline sa atong kwarta, paunsa nato siya gastuon. It also ensures that planning is done for the various events in one's life and the money required for meeting them. Okay, third, giving the person a direction. Planning sets forth the future vision of the individual. It helps him to attain various goals in life. Improving a person's financial decision making. So, financial planning helps a person in making right decisions about the spending and also investments and availing of loans at the appropriate time. No, natay, we need to improve our person's financial decision making. No, para ato ang mga dili siya sayop-sayop. Natay right decision and how can we spend and invest our money. Okay, next is assessing the person's risk tolerance and develop an asset allocation strategy. Okay, all people are not alike when it comes to taking risk in investment. No, investing is risky. So now, we need to take a risk to invest. Some may be aggressive while ang uban conservative. No, there may be few others who may be balanced. Kaya na uban nga kaya na nilang i-balance ang ilaang financial planning. But financial planning helps in finding out the risk appetite, no, of each individual, and on the basis of the risk appetite, suitable investments can be recommended. Okay, next is helping in tax reduction. Helping in tax reduction helps planning the taxes one has to pay on his income by proper planning. One can reduce his tax burden. Okay, safeguarding self and family against financial crisis in the event of death or disability. Next is tracking investment performance with respect to set goals. This one is financial planning is not one-time exercise. Constant monitoring of the investment's performance vis-a-vis the goals, so it would help in taking corrective action at the right time. Okay, this next is providing peace of mind. Of course, it's said that a person who borrows without proper planning ends up in the debt trap. So, if we is unable to pay the debts, he loses his lives and thus peace of mind. So, kung wala siya nagbayad sa utang, di siya mahimutang, like hala na pa siya utang. No? If we have a proper personal financial planning, natay peace of mind. No? Makaprovide siya og peace of mind. Okay. So, there are 5 benefits of financial planning. First is improve standard of living. Second, spending money wisely. Of course, we need to spend our money wise. No? Next, number 3 is current needs. Ato ang karon, present time, atong panginahanglanon. 4, future needs, atong panginahanglanon in the near future. 5, accumulating wealth. Okay. So, there are also 7 misconceptions about financial planning. First, it is one-time exercise. Financial planning is thought of as one-time exercise, which is not true. Financial planning requires close monitoring regularly and readjust or rebalance the asset portfolio so that the planned goals can be achieved within the time framework drawn. No, we need to monitor it and readjust, no? I-rebalance nato ato siyang i-monitor. Kay kung pasagdan lang nato siya, how can we know kung unsa na ato ang stance ato ang money. Second, it is only about tax planning. Tax planning is only one aspect of financial planning. Financial planning deals holistically and takes care of investment, protection, and state planning in addition to tax planning. Okay, number 3. It is to be done with one which is retired age. Another wrong notion is that financial planning has to be thought of only when one is about to retire or nearing retire. If one asks, what is the right time to start one's financial planning? Unsa kanus a? The answer would be yesterday. That means it should be done at the earliest sayo. Early as soon as possible. As soon as one starts earning money. When kanang nag-earn na kag money, we can start. No, dili na nato pabuton og dugay. Ana dayong higayon na. Okay, number 4. It is meant only for very rich or high net worth individuals. Okay. Another misconception is that financial planning is meant for only rich people, which is not. No? Financial planning takes care of the goals of every individuals, whether dato ka, whether pobre ka. Financial planning is applicable to all. Dili lang kaysa for rich lang, no? Rich or poor. Okay, number 5. It is only about investments. As already seen, financial planning covers not only the investment aspect, no? But also other aspects like insurance, mga tax planning, retirement planning, o ang kanang ginatawag na tog state planning. Okay, number 6. Financial planning does not need a professional's advice. Financial planning is a specialized job. It requires deep knowledge, lalum nga mga kahibalo, in various when it comes to investments options, mga regulatory guidelines, legal aspects, and so on. This can be done only by a professional qualified financial planner, no? Financial planner jud ang best karapat dapat ani nga kuan. So number 7 is financial planning advice is too costly. It is true that one has to pay for professional fees to the financial advisor. Magbayad jud no, magbayad sila. So mag-spend na pug money kay kinahanglan nimo sila baryan. One should not forget the benefits which one derives from this advice would be much more than the nominal fee one pays. Okay. So, milestone in one's life. Milestone in one's life. So, birth and school education, college education, getting a job, of course, ini-graduate nimo, magnarbaho ka no, purchase a car, pangandoy sa uban, makapalit og car. Entering a familyhood marriage, magminyo, mag-purchase building, mga palit og balay or magpahimo og balay. Birth of first child, ay mo tong mga anak, primero, panganay. Birth of second child, ikaduha. Education of second child, paeskwelahon nimo tong ikaduha nimong anak. Marriage of first child, imong panganay, wa na, kaslonon na. Marriage of second child also, ikang ikaduha. Retirement, diba? Retirement na nasa kinatapusan. And death. Kinatapusan ang death. Okay. From the happy retired life. Additional earning period from the time getting a job, say, for example, 24 years, the individual starts earning normally during the age of 35 to 45 years. His income would be highest, but so also the spending. Spending will be mainly on the education of children, loan repayments, marriage, etc. In the olden days, the retirement age was 58 or 60 years. The earning years used to be 30 to 35 years. In the modern days of stressful working life and working for over 12 hours daily to reach the targets given by the employer, the earning years is going to reduce to mahimo na siyang 25 to 28 years because of the burnout. Okay. Second is the what we call post-earning period. The normal life expectancy period has been going up to advancement in medicine. We keep seeing and hearing the people live up to 55 to 90 years. Life post-retirement works out to 40 years, no? During this period, you earning will stop, no? Mahunong na siya, but your spending will continue. So, mag-continue siya, di ra siya maputol. Okay. So, happy retired life. So, sa childhood, 22 to 25 years, no earning. The pre-retirement, 25 to 28 years, earning period. No, kay murag matured enough na nakay-work aning mga idara. Okay, post-retirement. So, mo akong gibasa ganina. The 30 to 35 years, no earning na kay na padulong na kama. Post-retirement na may tawag ana nga years. Okay. Planning for lifetime. Planning for a lifetime na siya 5. So the first is asset acquisition planning. Second, liability and insurance planning. C, saving and investment planning. D, tax planning. And E, retirement and estate planning. Then, a financial planning process. So, napod siya, a financial planning, na siya process. There is, pila ni siya kabok? Okay, 6 process ato ang financial planning. The step 1 is, ginatawag nato siya, setting your financial goals. Setting financial goals. We have seen earlier various milestones in someone's lives. Each of the milestones becomes a financial goal. So, for example, buying a car, buying a home, getting married. So, atong mga goals nga mag-spend og money. No? So, sa setting our financial goals, na siya important aspect to take into account in goal setting. So, ang ginatawag nato og SMART principles. So, what is SMART? Okay. SMART, S stands for specific. The goal should be specific and not vague. For example, no, specific siya. Na siya ka ng exact jud, no? Example is, I want to be a wealthy person. Wow, gusto siya dato, no? So, specific kay siya. Because we are not sure for how much, is not specific. Because we are not sure for how much amount of money one can be termed wealthy. Kaya ang iyang giingon, I want to be a wealthy person. Wala niya state kung ang amount, no? Sa pila iya ang gusto. How much money. How much amount of money he wants. Ang ilang giingon is, gusto siyang mahimong dato. Okay, proceed. M stands for measurable. What gets measured gets managed. Okay. By Peter Drucker. If we have no measurements, we will not be sure about the quantity. So, we have to quantify the goal in monetary terms. Okay. Next is achievable. It is said that the goal we set should be such that is a little beyond reach but not the level to discourage. It should be challenging but within reach, no? Okay. Achievable siya. Ma-challenge ta to achieve a certain goal, to achieve that certain things, no? Ma-challenge ta nga kinahanglan kabuton jud ko ni, di ba? Okay, R stands for realistic. The goal we set should be realistic, no? I want to have example. I want to have 100,000 in the next 2 years. Is not okay, no? Next is time bound. While setting a goal, we should specify the time by when it shall be achieved. Natay ka ng specific time nga kanus ana to siya kwaon, kanus ana to siya kabuton. So for example, na isa ka tawo nga mingon nga I want to buy a bedroom housing 1 million. This goal satisfies all other aspects of SMART goal except the time. Time bound. This goal satisfies all other aspects of SMART, no? Time bound. Dala na siya tanan. SMART goal except the time. If we add in the next 4 years, it becomes, so makompleto na siya, di ba? Pamingin ka nga. In the next 4 years, kay naan kinahanglan na ni, no? Na siya time limit how o kanus ana na niya ma-achieve ang iyang goal, okay? So there are 3 types of goals. So naapoy tulo ka types ang goal. Na short term, intermediate term o kanang long term. Short term is up to 1 year. Short term gani 1 year dyan na siya, no? So intermediate term, more than 1 year, 1 year to 5 years. Muna yung intermediate term. Kung sa long term po ta, beyond 5 years, no? Okay, additional. Each goal should be prioritized as HML. HML stands for high, medium, or low. This rules applies when we prepare a financial plan for an individual and he has many goals under each of the above category. Okay. Proceed to in microeconomic factors that have influence on personal financial planning. So, included rin ang government, monetary and fiscal policy, business cycle, o ang inflation. So, 4 phases of business cycle. Government is one of the major influences in the PFP environment. The policies of the government towards employment, education, etc. have great influence of the business. Of course, government, no? When you talk about the business, mga policies, no? Included yun ang government. Okay, next, number 2 is the monetary and fiscal policy. Monetary policy is primarily concerned with the management of interest rates and total supply of money in circulation and is generally carried out by Central Bank of the country or the RBI. Fiscal policy is the collective term for the taxing and spending actions of governments. Monetary policy determines the amount of money in circulation. No? Monetary and fiscal policy. Okay, business cycle. The business cycle or economic cycle is downward and upward movement of gross domestic product or mo na ginatawag na jud nato og GDP around its long-term growth trend. No, this fluctuations typically involves shifts over time between periods of relatively rapid economic growth, expansions or booms, and periods of relative stagnation or decline contractions or recessions. No? So, a business cycle has 4 phases, namely boom or prosperity, recession, depression, and recovery. So, money ang 4 phases sa business cycle. Okay, when we talk about boom or prosperity, when there is an expansion of output, no, income, employment, mga prices, profits, there is also a rise in standard of living, no, mao na siya tawag nga boom or prosperity. Next is the recession. Recession. During a recession period, the economic activity slows down when the demand starts falling. The overproduction and the future investments plans are also given up. There is steady decline in the output, no? The income, the employment, the prices, and the profits. Okay. Next is the depression. When there is a continuous decrease of output, income, employment, prices, and profits, there is a fall and the standard of living, the depression sets in. No? Of course, pag mo decrease ang output, ang income, ang employment, it can cause depression. Kaya nag-decrease man siya. The economy almost comes to standstill. No? Number 4 is the recovery. The turning point, no, from the depression is expansion. Is termed as recovery or the revival phase. During this phase, there are expansions and rise in economic activities. So, nag-rise na siya. When demand starts rising. When the demand starts rising, production increases and the causes an increase in the investment. So, recovery. No, nag-recovery na siya from the katong padulong ni, gikan siya ni decrease. Recovery. No, ni-increase na sad siya. Hinay, recovery. Okay. Number 4 is, mo niya itong ginatawag ng inflation. Di na ni bago sa to ha. Sige, tagkadungog aning inflation, no? Inflation is defined as a sustained increase in the general level of prices for goods and services. Diba? Inflation. Kabalo na taon sa ng inflation. Sa una pa man na. Okay. Next is personal financial statements. Natay tulo ka financial statement under sa financial personal financial planning. Kaning natong ginatawag nga income and expenditure statement. Okay. Ara. Kani. Mao ni siya. Financial planning, budgets, financial statement, no? So, when we talk about budget, mao ni siya ang control income, living expenses, mga savings, mga gasto. So, financial statement pod, mao ni siya ang actual finance results, income, and balance sheet. No, mao ni siya sa financial statement. Okay. Income and expenditure statement. Okay. Balance sheet. Okay. Balance sheet. Okay. Income and expenditure statement. So this statement details the various sources of income of the individual and expenses. Normally, of course, money, income, and expenditure statement. No. Kani siya. Balance sheet. Sige, kita aning balance sheet. Una na ako siya gi-appeal sa PowerPoint. No. Ano na siya. So, ang balance sheet. Budget. Ay nakabutang diri, naka-indicate monthly, sa iyang income, iyang monthly, iyang annual, Yang mga bonus, part-time jobs, no, na diha tanan. Monthly, annually. Yang mga gas, electricity, tanan yung expenses. Okay. Na diha tanan. So, okay. There are 7 principles of good personal financial planning. Naipito. Ang una is make saving a habit. Oh. Kaysa sa magasto-gasto ta, ang atong himuon is himuon na tong habit, no? Himuon na to, anaro na to atong kaugalingon nga mag-save ato siyang himo na to siyang habit, no? Dito sige patakag gasto. No? The first principle is that we should make a savings habit. Savings a habit. Saving should not be at random on months when the expenses of the lesser than income. Mingon na ta nga, ay, ugma na ako mag-save. Ay, sunod, adlaw na ako mag-save. Di man mahurot ang adlaw, no? Sige, ta ugma-ugma. Ugma na ta mag-save. So, make saving a habit. Di ta patakag gasto, di ta patakag waldas. Okay? Second is, maintain a personal diary. Okay, it is always good to have a record of events, no? In the form of diary. It's suggested that we have 2 diaries. Ang isa, mag-record sa events sa office. Ang isa, kay sa mga family or sa domestic life. No? So, maintain a diary due dates. Na siya mga dates, various deposits and investments, months, wise, pila ka buok. No? And see before the beginning of the month and take appropriate action. Okay, number 3, prepare a budget. No, preparing a budget. Budget helps knowing in advance the income and expenses that are to receive in the ensuing period. Okay. For example, when you need na kay gustoon, kani akong ipagawas within 1 week. Kinahanglan 1 week kanira akong mahurot din ako ni siya madugangan. No, kanira dili nimo to kaon tong imong gi-save. No, na siya. It helps in the planning source of funds for months when a deficit is anticipated or to reduce the discretionary expenses in the months where the deficit might occur. Okay, number 4 is have separate files for various important items. We should maintain file for important documents pertaining to family. A separate file should be kept for income, mga tax, income tax, house property, bills and receipts of assets purchase, statement of account of savings account, no? Separate yun natin na siya. Kinahanglan natay ka ng mga records. Number 5 is diversify your investment. Do not invest all your money in any one type of asset. Say, bank deposits, shares and securities, mga real estate, gold, etc. No? It is good to have investment in all class of assets. Di na ka pwede makapokus. Diya ka nag-invest isa. Diya na lang po ni mo tanan. No? It is good to have investment in all class of assets so that the risk is spread. No? Remember the proverb, do not pull all eggs in one basket. Kay mabuak ang isa, matandog ang isa, maamong ang tanan. Kay usa raman siya sudlanan. Okay. 6. Enjoy present. Yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery. And today is the present. Sige, tatagkadungog ani ako. Sige, ako kadungog ani. Too much of tightening of expenses at the cost of health or enjoyment. A moderate level is not good. After all, whatever we earn doing our lifetime, we should also enjoy and only keep some balance for our na balancing. Enjoy the moment. Enjoy sa karon, present time. Okay, number 7, last sa ato ang principles of good personal financial planning. Help others when you can. No, kung kaya na to, why not? Matabang ta, di ba? If kaya na to, og naputay ikatabang. Okay. So, problems on personal financial statements with the following data. Prepare. So problems on personal financial statement na given diri kani nga table. No, given na siya daan. So, sa ubos, kani nga itong ginatawag og income expense statement. So, salary is 20.00, bonus 2.00, investment income 0.50, total income tanan, so may mo siyang 22.50. So, sa expenses po, housing rent is 1.20, household expenses 2, recreation vacations 0.50. So, mga taxes for vehicle loan installment annual 1.80. So, sa utilities, na tayo 0.30. Sa educational loan, annual payment siya. Nag-cost siya 0.50. Sa medical, 0.25. So, total expenses is 10.55. Dayon, when we compute the net income, so A minus B, may A na to ani. Tara, dara tong A, kani. Si A kana siya, 22.50. Ato ang B is, dara, 10.55. Total of 11.95. Okay, balance sheet, tara. Ano dito tanan? Record. Current liabilities, credit card, balance 1.50. Kana siya tanan, kana. Balance sheet, record na siya tanan. Okay. So, that's all sa ako ang naka-assign nga topic.